You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Reign After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Reign After Show.
Shit happen.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody out there. We're here doing your favorite after show for your favorite show, Reign. This is episode 20, Higher Ground. And if you haven't heard already, we have a special guest in studio.
What?
Woohoo! Jonathan Keltz is here.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, ladies.
Yeah, aka Leith, if you don't recognize him outside of his
They know.
garb.
They know. They know.
You better know, like, seriously. Well, I am your host, Keetin Marchi. Ladies, you want to introduce yourselves as well?
Yes.
Wow, we haven't done this in a long time.
I know. We never introduce ourselves. I am your other host, Meagan Medick.
And I am Fahnia Thomas.
And you
I'm Jonathan Keltz.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you guys, special shout out to a lot of you on Twitter who were so pumped and were guessing all day and all week long about our special guest. Elena Cochran, at Joanna9273, at A Sassy Queen, and
She's you gonna read them all?
Natalia D guessed it. Boom.
Whoa.
Somebody else guessed it too. Was that on
Lot of
Twitter
people.
or
Everywhere. People were all over it.
or where?
I guessed it.
And I'm already on Twitter now, and they're not disappointed.
No, and we aren't disappointed either.
No, we had fun. We got to watch the episode together, which was great.
Yeah. We're literally having a beer
Having
together.
a beer. Hanging out.
Cheers to having
Beer.
you in the studio.
Beer and popcorn.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh yeah.
You guys, this is actually Megan's last show too. So
That's why we're having the beer.
we're having the beer.
To Megan.
To Megan.
Thank you guys.
Megan.
But
Love you all.
let's jump into this episode.
Dive in.
Let's talk about Mary and Catherine first, because we had a lot of kind of drama between those two again. You never know if they're going to be on good terms or bad terms, but that's what I love about them.
They're the bosses. I mean, they are the powerhouses. I mean, such strong women, such strong queens, and as you see in the episode, Mary is turning a bit more into Catherine, ordering deaths, having people killed, getting mercenaries. It's crazy.
She's getting queenly.
She's getting
Like,
queening, queening up.
Yeah, I've said this before, Mary is pulling on her big girl queen panties. Yeah. And, we still see the faltering, when at the beginning when...
Morals.
When Queen Catherine is like, don't beg. And I'm like, oh, that's a mistake. Like, you're right. Don't beg. But, it's only making her stronger and stronger and, frankly, a little bit scarier. Mary's going to get a little scarier, guys.
Well, to me, it seems like Mary, she always tries to do what her morals have told her to do. Mm-hmm. She always tries to kind of go along that straight and narrow line. Mm. But then, especially with dealing with Catherine, something always kind of pulls her away with it. And it pulls her away from that line. And it keeps pulling her kind of deeper and deeper into the darkness.
She has to play by the different rules, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way that she wants to operate and move through, her time as queen. There's so much going on. It's so convoluted. There's so many problems. And when her family's in trouble, when her country's in trouble, whatever she's got to do to get Catherine on board, she's going to do, and vice versa.
I like that. I like that she's building her army, and I like that she understands now that in this game of being a queen, you have to make the tough decisions. Sometimes you're going to have people killed for the good of your country and your men. So I like seeing Mary like this. And
totally.
I like when the guys are like, you got it, Your Highness, done. I love that.
But Hortensia was such a sweetheart. I mean, she was so lovely.
What? I was like, off with the head. Dance till you're dead.
She looked like the
boom.
Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland with
Yeah.
the little black eyebrows.
Helena Bonham Carter, her version of her.
Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
glad they cut off her head.
I love the Medicis, though. I love them. I love every time they come in. I mean, we get Catherine every week, thank God. But the Medicis, they're such a badass family.
Well, we get to see a little bit into their family. Not everyone seems to be nice there.
They're
No,
So,
they're absolutely
so what's the
ruthless.
deal? Like Cortenza and King Henry, they did it.
Yeah, they were up to stuff.
They were up to stuff.
And then
Hortensia.
and then Henry decided, well, he's going to marry Catherine, because we know that Catherine probably sort of was always going to be queen. I mean, she just, she's the boss. That's Meagan follows right there. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she embodies it, and she's cuter.
Oh yeah, please. She is honestly, she is the definition of a boss. Like, she is awesome. I mean, and as an actress, her presence, everything, it's amazing. She is.
Does she just like walk on set and everybody just like kind of just wants to?
We kiss the ring.
Yeah, of course.
She's like, it's time to act. And you're like, I'm acting.
The queen is in the building.
And shout out to one of our other listeners who sent us an audition tape of Meagan Follows. Like, that was dope. I had never seen it before.
I need to see this.
Yeah, it's her
It's in our
in the
cell
character
It's
of...
Meagan for.
Yes, and she's in the role of, I have it here, as Anne of Green Gables.
It's the
Her
Anne of Green
audition?
Gables audition tape.
Yes.
A fan sent it to us.
Shout out to Tan B, a.k.a. Tanny Tan.
Tanny Tan. I know
Yeah,
Tanny
so
Tan.
thanks for that.
Do you know Tanny Tan?
I don't know Tanny Tan.
Well, you do now. You do now.
So Mary basically, she's still, even though Francis is off, I'm bringing this back to the episode, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Keep us on
Even
track.
Even though Francis is off kind of fighting a battle of Calais to kind of keep the English troops out, Mary's like, well, my mom's still kind of SOL in Scotland. I got to do something, because Mary's not the type of girl to just sit around and do nothing. She asked Catherine for the 50,000 crowns back that her mother had kind of given to Catherine back in the day.
In a time of need.
Yeah, in a time of need, and Catherine's still like, no. Sorry.
I didn't even use the money.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
So Mary's like, fine, you didn't play, I tried to be nice, I tried to play nice, and she hires a mercenary to kidnap Catherine, as we talked about. And this mercenary, can we talk a little bit about him?
Charming.
Ooh, he is soap opera fine. Like, he's cute. John is cute.
He was very
He's a
manly.
handsome man.
Yes.
Every time he talks to Mary, I just wanted him to be like, Khaleesi. Like literally, he just reminded me of Khaleesi's right-hand man. I can't remember his name.
Sir Jorah.
Sir Jorah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like literally every single time, and he had kind of like this weird accent. I always go into my Game of Thrones things because I
Game of
love
Thrones
They
is
don't
awesome.
watch
Oh, I
Game of Thrones.
was like, we're like, what?
Get on it.
Khaleesi.
Jorah, he's again, similarly featured, and
Oh, then I'm
The
totally
right-
in.
the right hand of righteousness.
Good-looking older man will do anything for the queen and the right price. But yeah, it was kind of cool that he was like, yeah, you're paying me, but I'm going to teach you a little bit of a lesson in this situation. But then Mary goes back and actually is like, no, you're actually going to continue working for me. She gets all of this stuff to happen with, she picks the right person for him to behead.
Yeah. She hires the, Hortensia's mercenaries that, Catherine was using.
Totally.
Ruthless band of
Monsters.
monsters.
Mary's
monsters.
monsters.
That was bad.
Hashtag Mary's monsters, because
That is
that
a badass.
that was
That is
such an
good.
awesome line.
Yeah. Well, I'm impressed with John because he is a really stand-up guy despite his occupation. He was
Despite
totally
killing people,
loyal to Mary
Check.
and loyal to his word. And he, even though Catherine was like, I will pay you double, he didn't care. He was like, no, this is my jam. Like, this is my business, and I took it up with Mary. So you're gonna play my game. Like, that's
hot.
usually criminals and people who do the kidnapping, they're gonna go where the money goes, and he didn't falter. So
Well, he made a good point about that, because if he did, then his reputation would be that he could easily go back on his word, and who would hire him?
But what
he would have been
reputation
killed
though?
too
Because if he
quickly.
had that reputation of being that guy who kidnaps and does the stuff, then people would know it was him.
But he does have a reputation as, this sort of, I guess, this infamous mercenary figure. But he does have to stand on that reputation and that loyalty. So this is a country. Mary knows about him because her mom and her family have used him before, and so they have to trust that loyalty. It's a time where your honor, your word is all you got.
Your word is your bond, son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get it.
Do you guys think Catherine is ever gonna catch on? Because I feel like even though Mary nicely kind of covered up her tracks, I think Catherine sniffed a rat. Catherine's smarter than this.
Catherine's clever. It's clever,
Yeah.
Catherine. Like that's why I was surprised that when I wasn't surprised when she said, "Is it Mary?"
Yeah,
Because that's where I thought it was going. The writers totally had me going there.
Yeah.
And Catherine's just smart because it takes a clever little.
She's smart.
To
I mean,
pick
when
one.
you that all the information she was able to figure out just by him sitting there silently. You know, I mean, it's amazing. She is smart, but as we saw from the preview for next week, there are bigger fish to fry. We got a mad king.
But it's so funny. Like I like him being crazy.
He's awesome. Well,
Crazy King, we
I mean,
love
Alan
him.
Van Sprang, he's the man. He's a great actor, so he's killing it.
He's my favorite DILF.
He's your favorite
is
what?
your
My
favorite.
favorite DILF.
Dad, she
Just
want to make sure.
Just so you know.
You were in it. You were in one of the.
I was in American Pie
movies, so-
6. Yeah. American Pie Presents Beta House. That was fun. That was actually the movie I was referring to earlier when I was the rush chair of the Beta House. But yeah, that was fun.
Nice.
We'll get more into your body of work and everything.
Thank you very
soon.
much. Yes.
Okay.
So is there anything else with Mary and Catherine that you guys want to touch on before we move on?
Yeah, I think that Roman is an idiot.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello? Like,
Yeah.
anyways, that's all. You're dumb.
You good? You good?
Yeah, I'm done. That's
You good? Let's talk about somebody who almost made a dumb decision, aka Lord Julien.
Yeah,
Who
almost.
was looking mighty fine tonight.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Thank God.
Every time he looked at the camera, I was like, hi.
He's Italian too. He was born in Rome, speaks Italian fluently.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's true.
And what else?
The CW is killing it with the man
know.
candy. I mean,
Oh my god.
How do we get in there?
guys-
They got a good reputation for it. They
thanks
cost them
CW.
money.
Hire me.
Thank you,
Thank-
CW.
yes.
Thank you, CW.
C-dubs. Yeah, Lord Julien, he's so sketch. And finally, we figure him out. But we knew since the first time we laid eyes on him,
Yeah.
something's off this guy's sketch. And finally, it all.
We called him. He's a
Have
gold
we
digger.
figured it out?
Oh, don't do this to us. Save it for predictions. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I'm
not making any
When have we
predictions.
ever saved anything for predictions?
I know. We never do, because then we try to steal each other's predictions.
That's really
I
bad.
am so happy, though, that, again, true to Lola's form, Lola is so smart. She gets it. She's not stupid. She's very realistic. And kind of a little, props to Kenna may not be the smartest, but she's kind of a loyal friend. She's a very loyal friend.
No, the super
is,
gals,
though.
they've got each other's back.
They
you know?
do.
Yeah.
And it's like if some of them are weak in one area, the other one will use their strengths. It's like they all balance each other out, and maybe that's why Ailey had to die, because I loved Ailey.
Weakest link.
She was the weakest
She
link.
was the weakest link, yeah.
No, well, listen. Ailey's death was all about proving the prophecy true, and about giving that credence. She was a sweetheart, and it was so bad. It was so heartbreaking that that was going to be their one trump card on Catherine, and then
Yeah, that's
I'm glad
slip and
Julien
fall.
came clean.
Yeah.
It just made my heart melt, and I was like, okay, we knew it, and now he's saying it, and he turned around, he didn't get on the coach to leave. So last week it was Castleroy for me. This week it's Julien.
Whoa.
I know, I'm a flip-flopper.
Castleroy? Dr. Pepper.
sorry, Pepper.
It's okay, whatever.
Well, you see, I'm
right
a
here.
flip-flopper. I've already changed. By
Yes.
the time the show's over, it'll be you.
There
Yeah.
it is.
But I love that he apologized. I'm glad that he manned up and was like, you know what, I was gonna leave, but I stayed. So it's that conflict of love and politics and money.
But I'm
Love it.
curious as to he's finally opening up to Lola. When is he gonna
know.
start wanting to know whose child she's carrying? And is he gonna use that to his advantage to possibly get
Wait.
money from the royal family?
Were you guys?
I don't know.
I think that absolutely at the end of the day, Lord Julien is a good guy with the best intentions, doing everything that he can to survive. It is his heart and conscience, and the fact that he is in love with this woman that made him turn back, and that's brought them to the situation that they are in right now. So I don't think he would then manipulate the situation any further. Giacomo's my friend.
I don't know.
Giacomo, come visit us.
Yeah, tell us yourself.
I mean, the name Giacomo in itself. Like,
Giacomo.
like when you guys
Sounds
go
like a
out
winner.
together, do you just feel like you kind of have to just bow out? Like,
Oh,
your name
yeah.
is Giacomo, you speak Italian.
Did you say
Yeah.
my name's Jonathan Emo?
What?
You know where I was going.
No. Well, it's I am blessed, grateful, and fortunate that my lady love is joining us here in studio.
Yes.
And, Giacomo is fortunately and unfortunately with a lady as well, and they've
Sorry, ladies.
So why are you talking him up to us like he speaks fluent Italian?
Okay, let's stop here because you're like we're losing all the fantasy. Like, stop.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Let us have our moment.
Yeah, don't tell anyone else anything else.
It's like that whole syndrome. Once they know, it's like, oh gosh.
I know, right? But it's okay. It's the character, right?
Yeah. So back to we digress.
We digress.
Were you
Back to
guys
Jules.
were you guys scared that Kenna was going to tell Bash about who the father was?
No.
I was.
How
I
did
was
Bash
scared.
know though? That's what I wrote down. How did Bash know that it was somebody else's baby?
Well,
Kenna kind of gave math, and Kenna gave it away.
Bash is really smart.
Yeah, Bash is smart, and like you can't just show that quickly and start having contractions like after a month, 2 months
So
of
then
marriage.
that means that other people are gonna start.
Well, it has been
yes.
a bit. It's been more like 4 or 5 months. The thing is, there is. It's hard because we had a brutal onslaught of winter in the Northeast. So the fact that there is still snow makes it seem like maybe things haven't been taking as long. But there really has at this point been months that have transpired and passed. I mean, just the rallying and getting together of this movement of the army to Calais, and then Francis to know that he needs to go out and join. That's months that it would have taken to get there. So she, at this point in episode 20, I'd say is about 7 months pregnant. And then, by the end of the season, we'll see where she's at.
Well, it's only 2 more.
Yeah.
2 more episodes.
Well,
that's
it seems like they do these episodes are very spread out over time.
Yeah. They've been at French Corp probably about 1.5 years at this point.
Mary has?
From
Okay.
when Mary and the ladies in rating first arrived. So it has been a bit of time.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
No worries.
Timeline.
Well,
Love
that's
it.
scary for Mary's timeline of her innocence. Because if it's going this quick and she's already ordering other people's heads,
Yeah.
where is she going to be in another 1.5 years?
Well,
Yeah, let alone 13 seasons later, right?
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Heavy
Yeah.
is the head that wears the crown. So
I
yeah.
still want one.
You want a crown? What's your last day? Let's get you a crown.
Phil. Oh my God. Phil, we haven't even said hi to Phil.
Phil!
Oh, Phil's in the booth, ladies. Oh my gosh. I'm
they're
so
like-
sorry.
Is he even there?
We're gonna get
he can talk
No
whenever he
worries.
wants.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
How are you guys?
Hey,
What?
bud.
I thought,
Missed ya.
by the way, just a couple of things as you guys are talking. I love the line when Catherine tells Mary of, you're a queen. Queens don't beg. That really flipped the switch for Mary. But then, Keetin, you as a feminist, I don't know how versed Jonathan is with our podcast, but you have always said Kenna's the smartest. She's the most powerful. I want to see you defend yourself.
She did attack Kenna's intelligence this evening, but
Right.
but
I
no, you got a fellow
Huge.
feminist here. Gloria Steinem is my godmother and married my parents. That's legitimate and true.
Like, real talk?
Real talk.
Wow, good deal.
Yeah,
really
my mom
amazing.
was involved at the beginning of Ms. Magazine, so I'm legit feminista.
Right here.
I love that.
No, I have always stood up for Kenna, and I was always like, I think she's so much smarter than than people think she is. I think she manipulates. She knows what she's
You
doing
said
half the time.
specifically she was the smartest person in
person.
court.
Okay,
Yeah, you
that
did
was
say that.
episodes ago. Okay, but
We'll never let it down, though.
Well, no, but she listen. She is somebody who is absolutely trying to constantly make the best of her decision while still following her heart, her impulses, whatever it is
Her
that it is,
passion.
her passion. She and I think that it's really nice. This relationship with Bash it's become something special.
Love it.
Yes.
I
I'm
think
pulling
it's
for it.
adorable.
No, yeah, we've said many times we're glad that they finally have each other because
Yeah.
they both needed love.
Yeah, Benna. Hashtag
Benna?
Benna.
No, Cash.
I like Cash
Cash.
better.
Yeah. The fans,
right, never mind.
No, but check this out. I've been last episode they had the little bit of steamy situation.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I
We know.
kept tweeting, Cash. The fans were not happy. They're like, no, it's Kanash, and I'm like, I'm still gonna
that's
say
too much.
I'm still gonna say Cash because it's Cash.
That's
Kanash.
too much. I
like
love
Cash
them
better.
together. I love them
Phil
together.
is such a huge Kenna fan. Like since episode 1, Phil has been obsessed with Kenna.
All right, but can you blame me? Can you really blame me?
Caitlin Stacy?
Tell us more
spicy
about
Australian.
her. Ooh.
Oh, she's Australian, Phil.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Caitlin and Adelaide are both Australian, and they've actually known each other since they were like 16, 17 years old. They did a show in Australia together, so they've known each other for quite a while.
That's so
Wow.
awesome.
Cool.
You're gonna have to take a trip down under, Phil.
Oh God.
Oh,
She does live in LA,
oh.
Well, Phil.
but like a lot of us.
See, I made a
she's-
promise to the girls that I would bring in a male from the show to our studios. They have yet to fulfill their promise.
What did we
Because you guys talked about the hotness of the show.
We said we
It
would
goes
bring our
both
male
ways.
dogs as guests.
What
Our
kind of
little
dogs?
dogs.
What
I
kind of
have a
dogs?
female.
I have a
dog.
female dog too.
What kind of dogs? What kind
Really?
Of, I'm
I have a
big-
Pomeranian.
Oh, nice.
Yes, Labellania is her name.
La Bellania.
I have
6
a
pounds.
little mutt named Owen, and then I just adopted a blind dog.
Oh my god! Congratulations.
Thank
Do you have a dog?
I don't at the moment. So as you know, the show shoots in Toronto, and
Right.
me and my girlfriend are back and forth. We are very interested and excited to adopt a dog, but we're a bit too all over the place.
For those
but,
of you guys listening on the podcast, Kenna, that's the second time tonight that I've called Keetin Kenna.
So lucky.
so lucky. Hey Phil.
It's showing a picture of her dog. That's where that all came from.
Yeah. We want to try and find a nice little French bulldog for ourselves.
they're so adorable.
That's where we're gonna start, and then when I have a legitimate yard and something to play around with, I definitely want a husky as well.
Oh, for sure.
Huskies are the best.
For sure.
She wants you to rescue.
I do.
No, I 100%. I work with the Canadian Federation of Humane Societies and
Awesome.
CFHS and IFAW as well. So I'm rescues.
Look at
Saving
you, a
dogs is my
feminist.
thing.
Yeah.
Rescue.
I'm trying to make the most of this bag I got here of popcorn.
Okay, so we just digressed for a very long time. But Julien and Lola, we're happy they're together. They're happy she's gonna have a baby soon. Who knows if
Romance.
Julien will be holding her hand. But of course, her ladies will be with her. I hope that if they kill off Lola, I will be so angry. I love Lola.
No.
That's Anna
Lola's
Popplewell you're talking about right there. I mean, that she is a
You can't kill her.
institution.
Yes, I mean,
She's such a
The Lion, the
strong
Witch, and the Wardrobe. Anybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, something's gonna happen major because it's a season. Something's gonna
2
happen.
episodes
But
left.
I don't
so-
think it's like Lola that has to go.
It's either
No.
gonna be. It's usually what death, a kid, marriage. Isn't that how they end seasons usually?
Henry's
I mean,
gonna die.
We don't really play by rules. I will say that.
But it's something
we had the big wedding in episode 13. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
see, I think the big wedding was Kenna's.
yeah, that was amazing.
I think it was
That
kind
was
of
amazing.
That was the big wedding.
Yeah, shoes
Henry's
off
like,
wedding.
just do it.
Yeah,
With
no shoes.
Yeah. Whenever Henry, that's like my crazy meter is like whenever he's not wearing shoes, I know like his level of
What about
batshit
pants?
cray.
Pants.
Exactly. That's when I was like, he is through the roof, batshit cray, through the roof.
Yeah.
But hey guys, I just want to take 1 second and thank you all once again for watching our podcast and our show on YouTube or iTunes, wherever you watch or listen to us. And as you know, our founder, Maria Menounos, and Kevin, they work so hard to make this show possible, and they have their own reality show where you can see tons of AfterBuzz behind the scenes on Oxygen, and they make all this possible. Special guests like Jonathan here, they just make it all possible just for you guys. So check out Chasing Maria every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. on Oxygen, and you will get more of good stuff like this.
Oh, yeah.
No, and thank you for having me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching Reign and being such supporters of the show. I got to watch with you ladies, and you were right there with it. It means a lot.
We're not done though.
I like that you know what's going on and you get just as excited.
Oh, yeah.
It was so much fun watching with you and just having you like be like, oh, get ready. Like he's so intense and so into it while he's live tweeting. So it's really cool. To see
Well,
how
it's
much
fun.
you care and you love it.
I'm having an absolute blast working on the show. We've got such a great group. I mean, the writers are fantastic. The way that a lot of shows, you know, you do a few episodes and yeah, sure, it's fun, and then you get into this procedural sort of formula. There's no procedure to this show. It just moves and moves and moves. You know, like I said, the wedding was episode 13. Then you got a shoes off wedding and, you know, episode 16. You know, and here we are at Battle and all this stuff. I've had such a great arc that I'm so grateful for over the season, and it's a blast. So getting to watch it and having all the memories of shooting it and then watching you ladies enjoy it the way you did, it's fun. It's special.
Well, let's talk about that awesome battle. Because
yes.
I was like
so
cheering. Okay,
Swords,
I just have to say,
armor.
I called it last week. I have to say, I did call it. Remember my prediction last week, right?
What was
it? Francis is gonna run into Leith, and they're gonna like bond, or Leith is gonna save Francis's life in some way.
Bros.
They're gonna bro out, and so Leith will come back with title. And
thus Queen predictions, Keetin.
No. But let me help you out.
It's good.
Sidebar: she was incorrect about French court and the guy being kicked out.
I can't be right all the time.
If that makes you feel better.
That does make me feel better. Her predictions are ridiculous. We don't stand a chance, and that's why Nostradamus
She
hates
embellished.
us.
She embellished a little bit.
See, when you're on Nostradamus' side, like you get the predictions.
I shouldn't have started calling him not so Nostradamus from day one. This is where I am now. This is where I am now. No predictions.
Yeah. What happened to Olividamus? I mean, that was great.
I know, that was sad.
I wasn't sad.
I just got that.
Yeah.
Olividamus.
Yeah.
This was such a guys episode with like the swords and the blood.
Explosions! So good. That was awesome. I got really excited.
It was so cool.
Go for it.
They blew things up. There was
We blew
blood.
stuff. There was arrows. There was blood. There was fighting in the forest.
Tell us about the explosion.
It was awesome. So we shot for 3 days up on this sort of mini ski mountain north of Toronto, and it was really cool actually because we got to take a ski lift to and from work. So it's like you got all these guys in like full armor, like carrying spears and
there's, like, a
swords
picture
and
of
stuff.
that.
I tweeted one out of just like me like selfieing on the ski lift during the show. But yeah, it was fun. It was cool, and it was also a really nice way to sort of begin and end the day because you had to go up at the beginning and you couldn't come down until the end. The lift was only open for certain amount of times per day. So ending the day just sort of on that nice calm ride down,
Nice.
it was nice. But so we shot for 3 days up there. It was great. I mean, doing all the battle stuff, it's awesome. As a guy, obviously, that's like part of the fantasy. I'm gonna run around and play medieval times like that. And we had a lot of the stunt guys were actually medieval times performers. And let me tell you, these guys are some cowboys. They are badass. Like they're talking about like this guy Alex. He was talking about this story. He's been at medieval times for 10 years, and they were like in the fight, and all of a sudden in one of the scenes that he was doing, the sword cracks him in the head, and he's like bleeding all the way down his face.
For real?
For real. And they keep going. So he's like going through the rest of it, blood pouring down his face, having a ball. Like these guys are modern day knights. They are living the life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know I kept asking you questions throughout the episode because every time something would happen, I'd turn around and be like, so how cold really was it?
It was very cold. No, so there was a couple of, as we said, this was a ridiculous winter. Mm-hmm. So like, I know the scene where they were playing soccer and stuff, it was freezing cold and so much snow coming down. When we were up on the mountain, it wasn't too bad because it was gorgeous. I mean, as you saw, it was sunny, it was beautiful, so it was nice, but, you are in the cold. When I was laying there dying in the snow, that was a bit chilly because no matter what, if you're lying in snow for 9 hours, you're gonna get cold.
But it was 9 hours?
That scene took about 8-9 hours to shoot. Yeah, because it sort of had a couple of different moving pieces and whatnot, and
you and Francis got close.
We do.
You guys got real close.
I was scared for a second.
I thought they were gonna make out.
It's a little intimate, but no, it's being in that position, at battle where you're out there, there is sort of an intimacy that happens when you are laying your life on the line and we are protecting each other. That battle, where we first sort of meet, I get to save his life, and then he is, he's doing everything he can to get myself off the battlefield and get back home to push on. Who knows? To be so wounded and to have to fight through that and know that we have to go and get to that next castle. That's a lot, and to have a brother, a prince, and a future king be there for you to carry you off the field. That's
That's what I liked about Francis in this episode, was that he was fighting, he was being a king, he was being a soldier, and I liked that. And then I liked how you schooled him a little bit on what it was to be on the other side.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
and
if anyone knows what it's like to be on the other side, it's me.
This guy.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you. It was nice. I mean, you know, it's about what needs to be done. You know, we're there because we have to be there, but you know, we're not gonna just, you know, we can't half-ass it. You know, we've got our lives are at the line. We're in the trenches, you know, and so he's got to speak to us. He's got to connect to us in a real way. You know, he fought there with us in the
brotherhood,
forest, you know,
and like,
in that brotherhood.
yeah.
So we were already inspired by him and connecting with him because he was willing to, you know, to lay his life down for us. So, you know, but if you want us to literally draw a cannon's fire, you got to be real with us. You can't just be. It's not about the castle. It's about survival. You know, and that's what every day at war is like.
And I loved seeing kind of Francis's growth throughout this episode. I just felt like, I mean, if you think about it, Francis has never been in a situation like that. Been in any type of battle situation. He's always kind of sucked at fighting. Like, he's like been the weakling compared to Bash. Like, no offense, but like he like is like, you know what, Mary? I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for both of our countries. And he's going out there and he's rallying men behind him, similar to how Mary's rallying men behind him.
Absolutely.
So we see how true
Power
leaders
couple.
they both are. And it's amazing to see them both flourish apart, because it seems like whenever they're together, kind of it's harder. It's a lot harder for them to, you know,
Of course.
be the great king and queen that they both are and are both meant to be. But I loved seeing you and Francis's scenes. I thought
Thank
they
you.
were great. And I'm so Team Francis this episode. I don't know. I just
Totally
love,
Team Francis. You've always been Team Francis.
Well, okay, Bash gets me.
Yeah,
every,
but
Bash
okay,
gets me with
listen.
the look. It's
The
like,
look, yeah.
Those
Bash.
blue
Pull the
eyes.
blues. Listen, they're not exactly at odds with each other at this point. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, I think that this relationship with Ken is a real thing. You know, and I hope it continues. And obviously, Mary and Francis they're Mary and Francis.
Yeah.
You know, but so I think that it's they're not necessarily at odds in terms of being, you know, team against each other. But I mean, it was great. I mean, I love getting to work with Toby because it's, you know, so up until this point, I've been sort of like the secret, you know, so, you know, I've been sort of like always hidden away in the corner. So now getting to work with the other actors on the show, it's been fun.
It was funny. I was like writing down questions that I wanted to ask you, and I one of the questions was, who's your favorite actor to work with? And I was just like, wait, really, all your scenes are with Greer? Like truly. So it was really cool to see you kind of like bro out with one of the guys, one of the main guys in this episode, because it's so much about the ladies.
Yeah.
It really is, and you know, because Mary is kind of the center figure of this show. But it's cool to see the guys get into it and grow and have such like a manly episode. I really liked it.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun. I mean, like I said, getting to work with him is awesome. I mean, Toby's great, so getting to work with him just for that was fun. But I mean, working with Selena has been amazing. I mean, the first I joined up in episode 3, and it was like we literally the entire episode of our stuff we shot in one day. So I mean, that's the way it works. So if you're shooting something, like if all your scenes in an episode take place in the same location, you're shooting that entire location in that one day. You know what I mean? So we had this sort of like all of a sudden crazy day where we just shot it like our entire episode's worth of stuff in that one day. So and then it's been like pockets of that throughout, and then we've sort of grown into the different parts of the castle away from the kitchen that we've gone since. And hopefully I will not have to shoot in the kitchens anymore. But,
well,
I just knew you were going to come in here with some flour on your face. Like, I wish you would have.
Truthfully, the first time that I got recognized for the show, it was we were at a restaurant, and you know, we were sort of talking about the show, and then the waitress looked and was like,
Again, for those of you guys listening on the podcast.
Oh, just listen, yeah. The white mark, the gesture of the white mark, all in sign language with a slack jaw. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So you guys want to touch on anything else, like specifically about this episode? Francis got super tactful. I think
tactful.
He was very smart.
Strategery.
A lot of strategery with Francis. in all of those scenes, which he's a smart guy. We like him. Phil, do you have anything? This was such a manly episode, and we're really not hearing from our manly man in the booth there.
No, I definitely enjoyed it. You guys brought up a lot. I'm kind of just enjoying listening to you guys for the most part, and then I try to chime in, but you guys have already kind of hit what I wanted to say, so kudos to you guys, So, yeah.
Thanks,
I'm excited.
Phil.
Yeah.
So my quote of the episode, I always try to find a quote, is from the Queen, and she said, "Innocence is all relative. Once it is gone, it can never be reclaimed." So I just want to throw that quote out there, see if anyone wants to touch on it, because it's obviously the Queen is talking about Mary. And do we think that is true for her? Do we think that she is, even when she had Hortense's head cut off, she justified it as to why she chose her. Do you think that she will always be able to hold on to a little bit of what makes her her, or is she going to go down that hard-hearted queen's path?
I think it's a slippery slope.
It is a slippery slope. I mean, I think that, she trusts her moral core, but, she is realizing that the scope of what needs to be done is wider than she thought it was. I think that there will be compromises she continues to have to make, but she is still a good-hearted queen. She isn't Catherine. I mean, we learned a lot about Catherine this season in terms. I mean, this is a girl who was raped by a group of soldiers at 11 years old. I mean, and there's a lot of things that have caused her to form that hardness that she has. And I think that, we have to hope that Mary will be able to hold on to that, to her heart, because of her relationships with her friends, and because of the relationship that she has with Francis. So, I mean, call me optimistic. But
what happens when Francis is gone?
What do you mean? What's that about?
What?
Why would you say that?
I saw Nostradamus' visions.
Yeah, that's Nostradamus. Yeah, it's, you
read
history.
I read
books.
history. I always come in and I'm like, well, in history, guys. I'm like the history teacher of the...
Yeah, so listen. So
we're just over here
I mean, so here we are. We've got the show. I mean, we are absolutely... we have a historical drama, right? Mm-hmm. We are following the broad strokes of these people's lives and of this time, this amazing, tense, volatile time, in France and in all of Europe. And that being said, we are bringing our own sort of interpretation of that. There is a fantastical element to this as well. I mean, from
it's like fan fiction of these historical stories.
Exactly. The Lumineers exist now, not then, and they do our theme song.
And it's a great theme
It's a great theme. I will say that I nerded out. I got a follow from the Lumineers on Twitter.
Oh, that's a good one.
I got very excited.
That's the reason to get very excited.
I got very excited.
I nerded out at the very beginning of the episode because we talked last week about how in the opening they don't have Nostradamus' voice anymore. Mm-hmm. They changed the opening this week, and there was all this stuff, and then it was just like rain.
So. Do you know why they no longer have the Nostradamus narration?
No, pray tell.
The narration was all about leading up to the marriage between Mary and Francis, and then they got married. Oh. So the narration hasn't been there since their wedding.
Oh. Is there going to be new narration?
No, there won't be. Now it's just going to be the sort of the silent.
I liked
his voice.
But the cold open, from the previously right into the scenes, and then it was cool.
I liked it a lot.
It was very dramatic. It was very intense.
And
that was 10 minutes in, literally, because I was watching it,
yeah.
and the DVR hit, and it was 10 minutes in, and so you don't really see that because you're just so sucked in. And then
97 people died before that theme.
Yeah.
It was,
and then you're like, I'm watching Rain. Yeah. Boom. This is Rain. Welcome.
That's one of my favorite openings of any TV show that I've ever really gotten into.
You do
cool.
I just think the shots, the filming style, the edit, in the song, everything is just so cool in that opening, and it just. I don't know. It's like it shows you like this is what you're gonna get. Like this is what Reign is about, and it's great. It's great. It's not as good as the Game of Thrones. No, it is. It's just
very different. Very different.
It's so cool though.
Yeah.
I love it.
When I watch Game of Thrones, I watch the intro every time.
You have to because you have to see which locations they're going to, right?
New places.
All right. Since everyone's always giving predictions throughout, I have one prediction at the series finale. 10 years from now when that is.
Series finale.
It's gonna. You're not even gonna get the opening. It's just gonna happen at the end.
I hope I'm alive.
You will be. Trust me. It's just gonna hit right at the end credits. Like, long did she reign, and that's when the voiceover's coming back. That's just how we're gonna end. You're not even gonna get the opening credit sequence at the top of the show. It's just gonna be at the end.
How do you know what happens in history?
Me and Nostradamus talk.
It's bad. History.
I know,
The history is bad.
It's gonna get
for
real
everyone.
rough.
Yeah.
Like real rough,
Yeah.
real quick.
No, but
as soon as they leave French court, I mean, it's just.
I am very excited, to see who, when, and what Elizabeth is when.
I know.
Yeah,
When
when
that
is she coming?
Oh,
Well,
I totally know.
They announced.
idea.
I think she's coming before. I bet you it will be in the final episode. She's going to be a big part of the cliffhanger because they announced when they cast her like months ago, and that we will see her soon.
What?
So they announced that, and I read an article.
This could be a fabrication.
It could be a fabrication.
I don't think we have. I don't think we
oh
have.
my God,
If
are
we
you
have an Elizabeth, I am completely unaware of
Ladies,
it.
do you hear that? There's still a chance for all three of us.
Hashtag get Keetin on Reign.
Get in there.
I could play Elizabeth.
Dye your hair red immediately.
I will do
I'm
it.
Elizabeth. I am Elizabeth.
Oh, I think that's right. We got Cate Blanchett to reprise her role as Elizabeth, so she's gonna come on and do it. Yeah, she's
Wow.
like, I got this Oscar now. I'm gonna do some TV.
Yeah.
What's up?
That's awesome.
I'm going to Reign.
She
Yeah.
seems chill though. Like, I feel like
Oh, for sure.
She's
totally.
so up for
Yeah,
that,
she's
right?
coming. She's coming on the show. It's gonna be great. It's
That's
gonna
awesome.
be great.
Do you know why the Canadian promos are so different than the States? Yeah.
You mean why we get to have Royals by Lord? Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great song to have sort of as like the commercial promo song. I'm not sure. So M3 is the channel that airs it in Canada, which it's formerly much more music there. It's like an MTV type channel.
Gotcha. Okay.
Here. I'm not sure why the promos are different, but there's like there sometimes one will spoil things for the other.
Well,
Yeah,
they just get more. It
true.
seems like they get more stuff. Like the fans are always like, "Did you see what the Canadian promos got going on?"
The other thing is, so it airs in Canada Wednesday nights at 8 before it's on here. So the episode already will have aired in Canada before it even airs here.
Gotcha.
I like cannot even get on Twitter because people tweet us spoilers.
It's bad.
Yeah,
It's
we've
bad.
got people in Italy. We got people in Malaysia. Like we got.
They're
They're deep. They love the show.
It's really cool. It's awesome that we have such an international following so far, and it's not even airing in all of these countries. I mean, I absolutely have to give a shout out to Brazil, to Russia, to Argentina, to Italy, to France. I mean, we love you. Thank you so much, for
Yes.
tuning in. I mean, these countries are all over it. It's great. And Canada, America, we're on
America.
it too.
Wait, yeah, there's somebody out in Malaysia. She's always tweeting us from Malaysia.
From Malaysia.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank
Like-
you, Malaysia.
It's just
Well, and
They rock.
What's kind of cool is you're like one of the only Americans in the cast. Like,
Yeah, Americans, yes. There's a couple Canadians, a couple Aussies, and then a bunch of Brits. But yeah, I'm the only New York Jew in the cast. That's for sure. Yeah,
Holding down the fort for
exactly.
America.
well,
appreciate, yeah.
can we start talking about you a little bit?
Yeah.
Dive into kind of.
If we must.
Let's talk about you. So, when did you kind of get involved? Like, what was the process like? Getting, I mean, obviously the whole audition process, but like, when you heard about this audition, were you like really excited about it? Were you excited about this character? Kind of walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, well, so I actually had, as the show was beginning its casting process, I was actually meeting with CW on a couple of different projects, including this one, and we were sort of trying to figure out where it was that I would fit in. There was a couple other pilots that they had, and this one. I had talked to them about some of the characters, and then, although we didn't end up pursuing that, we were sort of trying to figure out the right place to put me. And then they were like, "Oh my God, would you come play Leith?" And I was like, "Kitchen boy, I've worked restaurants, yes." And so that's sort of how it came to be. I'd sort of met with them previously, and then they asked me to come on and play Leith. And then I don't think we really expected it to become what it has. It was sort of something that was going to be, as we know, the beginning of that flirtation. And then Nostradamus makes the prophecy about, the man with the white mark. So that sort of gave it some gravity. But then, I mean, we've been able to do so much of it. I mean, it's crazy. When you're working in TV, you're setting up all these things, but you never really know where you're going to get to go. So we were all working under the assumption that we had a 13-episode season, and that it was like, okay, 1 to 13, boom, we're going to bang this out. We're gonna chock it full of stuff, and that'll be that. And then all of a sudden, the phone call comes in. No, we need 9 more episodes, and we need them now. You know, and so then and then the season grows, and we're so fortunate that we got such an early pickup for season 2. So now they're trying to figure out where it's gonna go. You know, and as you know, the writers, they're relentless. This show moves. You know, we don't talk about doing stuff. We do stuff. You know.
Very true.
So it's moved such a long way. You know, from where we started. I mean, and the show's just gonna keep picking up pace and keep moving.
I love that.
And there's so many characters too.
Yeah, it's a nice ensemble, and truthfully, that's great. I mean, it's like for the beginning of the season, it was pretty much Mary in every scene, and when you're working on a show, I mean, we're shooting 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-hour days, you know. So it's like if it's all Addie all the time, she's getting worn down. So it's nice to sort of give her a little bit of a rest here and there.
Well, I think the show came out of nowhere, but with a bang. Like, it has a huge following. People love it. I just remember I was driving down Bundy and I saw a billboard, and I had never heard of the show, and I just saw the billboard and I was like, I'm watching that.
Nice.
For sure. And then I started seeing commercials and everything, and now there's a huge following in such character development, and we're so attached to all of you guys. It's just awesome.
Thank you.
We love it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that it's become such an addictive show, you know, and there's all kinds of people, you know, that have told me that they're watching the show. Like there's like moms and their daughters all watching, and I'm like, it's Reign, a family show? Are we a family? It's sure, why not?
On some nights.
Yeah, on some nights with some families. No, but and you know, it's we're really grateful for the support that we've had. I mean, it's awesome. We're having a blast making this show. It's like we go off, you know, to Canada to put this thing together. As I spit a popcorn kernel out, nobody saw that.
No.
I have to acknowledge. I have to out myself. I have to.
Are you kidding me? We're gonna put that on eBay later, guys.
We have a kernel.
If you tweet us.
But no, it's cool. I mean, you know, the support that we've had has been phenomenal, and this is my first opportunity getting to live tweet along with something, and that's fun. I mean, people are so engaged, and it's fun for us. I mean, you know, there are some people that do it and some people that don't, and it's sort of becoming the 2014 norm. But getting to interact with the fans, that's fun. You know, it's a communal experience. It's cool, and especially because of the international element. There's people all over the world watching and speaking to me in languages I do not understand. But my girlfriend speaks Portuguese, so she has been able to help me translate and talk to some of the Brazilian fans, which has been good.
Yeah. So Jason Derulo said you've been around the world, don't speak the language, but the booty don't need explaining. Yeah. And I take that as you understand the tweets.
Lipstick stamps.
Yeah, you don't need to. You understand the tweets, even though you don't know what they're saying.
So since you guys have all these long days on set, what do you and the cast do to relax after you guys are done taping?
I mean, I don't know. Like I'm a big acting nerd. Like, being on set's kind of my favorite place to be. I come off set wired. You know, it's like, you know, that ride home, I'm amped. I'm having a good time. Then when I get home, I crash, you know, pretty hard. But it's, you know, it's fun. You know, Toronto, I went to high school in Toronto, so that's actually a city where, like, you know, my parents are, and I got, like, all my high school buddies, so I get to see them. You know, it's really hard for, you know, a lot of the cast because they've just been relocated there. You know, this is a city they don't know, they don't have anybody there, you know, so we're lucky that we get along so well because we spend a lot of time together and hanging out.
So you're playing tour guide?
I've played tour guide a bit, and again, I mean, it's like, you know, we have been able to get out and do some stuff, see the city, get out of the city a little bit. You know, some people have been doing New York trips and that sort of thing as well. But, I mean, you guys were in California. This was the most oppressive winter I have ever been in. Like, I mean, it's like you don't want to go outside. It's crazy. You know, especially if you're shooting, you know, outside for 14 hours a day, you don't exactly, it's time to be home.
We are pretty fortunate because I don't have anything to relate that to.
Where are you from originally?
Here.
Here?
Born and raised, LA County.
And what about you gals?
I'm from North Carolina.
All right.
Vegas.
Hurricanes.
I went to school in Indiana.
Okay.
And we can have some harsh winters in
That's
Indiana.
for sure.
Because there are no trees. There are just fields. So
Just
that wind
flat.
just blows. And they don't cancel school.
No,
they don't.
And Megan, where'd you say you're from?
I grew up in Vegas.
Oh, so you're moving back back home?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, not in my parents' house, my home.
No, of course. Yes.
Yeah. No, I did. I got a job.
She's
in
got
my
a
hometown.
big secret promotion. She's awesome, but she's abandoning
I
us,
did.
and we're upset.
I'm sorry.
So you were born in New York.
I'm born in New York.
You
So
moved to Toronto.
Yeah.
How did you get into the acting?
So I was born in Manhattan, and then I lived there till I was about 7 years old. Then we moved upstate to Woodstock, New York, and we were there until I went into high school. And I started studying when I was like 10 years old. I was at a very amazing, progressive private school called Poughkeepsie Day School, and they had an amazing drama program, and for some reason somebody put Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet in my hand, and I watched it, and I was like, I want to do that at 10 years old. So I was doing plays in school. I played Michael and Peter Pan in my first production ever, and then yeah, exactly. And then I started studying outside of school in middle school. I had an amazing experience where I got to study with Alan Arkin and take a whole improvisation class with him when I was like 13, 14 years old. And then as we moved to Toronto, I moved with my parents because they were moving for work. But I was able to then, once I finally had my permanent residency there, be able to start auditioning and getting out and getting into the field. So at 16, I started working professionally, and I'd been taking like as many classes as I could since we got to Toronto, and I used those relationships to get an agent and start auditioning. And so then right after high school I moved out to LA, and I've been back and forth and all over the globe since.
That's awesome. So what was the first role that you were like, oh my gosh, like, wow, I'm like, I'm doing it.
Well, I was very fortunate that the first movie that I got to be in was a movie called Cake, and as a 16-year-old boy, I had a role where I got to play a valet parking guy that got to dance and make out with Heather Graham. So that
bomb dropper.
That happened.
That's so cool.
And I've talked about nerding out a couple of times. I nerded out that day on set. But the job that was the game changer, and that was everything. That was my dream, show to work on was Entourage.
I was gonna say
I'm an actor from New York, and I watched the show since the beginning, since the first episode, and when I first moved out to LA, I said to my manager, I want to get out, like I will play Arnold's dog walker, like I will do anything on that show. Cool. And then I got to play one scene on the show where I was the assistant that got fired, and then just sort of spiraled from there.
So are we going to see you in the movie?
No, you will not be seeing me in the movie, but Kid Cudi will be playing the assistant in the movie, but this is good because I get to get back in touch with my roots as a fan. So, what it's like, honestly, it's like they give me like Entourage hats and shirts when I'm on the show. I'm like, oh my God, I want to wear this. I can't wear this. That makes me an asshole. So now I feel like I'll be able to get back out there, wear my hat, go to the movie, get 8 bags of popcorn, some soda pop, and watch it.
Perfect. That's awesome. So what do you have? So I know Reign is wrapped. You guys are done shooting for this season. We're done shooting.
Yeah.
Do you have any projects coming up this summer that you're?
I got some stuff on the go that I can't even say as much as I've said about right now. But things are good. You will be seeing more of me. And I will say that I do appear again in Reign. That so I've been carried off the battlefield, and where in the show I show up or don't show up, or show up, we'll see, whatever, who knows.
I have a question for you. By the way, 21 and Over, like those types of movies, they are honestly some of my favorite movies.
Thanks, man.
So what's more fun for you, that type of movie or kind of like Reign, where you're playing a more dramatic role?
It's I don't know. I'm really lucky that I have a tremendous amount of love for what I do, and I like to try and do different things. Getting to play a psycho cheerleader like Randy was awesome. I mean, and getting to work with those guys was great. Those were some of the coolest directors I got a chance to work with, and I mean, Miles Teller killing it, Skylar Astin killing it, Justin Chon killing it. I mean, the cast that we had was amazing, and then this show has been awesome between the cast and getting to work in a period drama like this. I mean, the thing that's awesome about an actor is, I get to lead so many different lives. I get to go through all of these different worlds and play with all these different rules and things, and I get to go and be in 1500s France and swing a sword and dance around in the snow and bleed everywhere. I mean, that's awesome, So it's cool. I like doing different stuff. This was the first chance that I sort of got to really arc a character over an extended period of time, which was great. But again, last year I did a show called Necessary Roughness where I played like a star baseball player becoming a professional. Like, I get to learn and practice. I got to work with pitching coaches for that. I get to work with fight coordinators for this. I love it all.
That's awesome. What's your dream role? Do you know?
Well, Inception 2, does that count as an answer? I don't know.
do
Anything
it.
with Christopher Nolan. I mean,
Really?
he's the man.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, okay.
I would love
Actually,
an Inception. I loved Inception.
They're not
Yeah.
going to make a sequel. I would boycott the movie even if I was in it. But no, at some point I will play Hamlet. I don't know when. I don't know
that's
how,
so
but I
cool.
will.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, can we talk about your character on the show?
What show?
A little bit. Reign.
Oh, I'm kidding.
Reign. So, okay. We're gonna do a little predicting here.
Oh,
And
yeah, okay.
you can say yes or no.
Phil,
Okay.
do you want to play the predictions thing?
Is it time?
Is it time?
And now,
It's time.
your AfterBuzz TV.
It's like you're in a spaceship.
Can you guys hear it? Nice. Yeah. Oh, we should have given you headphones. Sorry, are they invisible people?
oh,
These
why
are
not? Put
invisible
'em
people.
on.
You can pull those off the
Yeah.
wall. And...
Oh my gosh.
At the end of the show.
Welcome to AfterBuzz. So, we know he's coming back to the castle. Francis has now promised him.
We know Francis is coming back to the castle. We don't know that I'm coming back
He
to the castle.
promised you, well, via his pep talk to stay alive, land and title. And that right there is the formula for Greer.
But
Yeah.
can the prince give somebody that?
Yes,
Yes.
that's what he said. That's what he said.
He said that.
Well, we all know Henry's probably going to die by the end of this season.
Whoa. Why?
Because it's like they've been building up the Mad King so much. Of course.
Yeah. Mad Kings
Don't forget
kill
we have a bell
people. They
tower.
don't get killed. Yeah.
Yeah, put him in the bell
I
tower.
don't know. I'm just waiting for a
Right.
jousting. As soon as they like next week on Reign, jousting tournament, I'm like, Henry's dead. Because that's
She's
how
a
he
history buff. What's up with
Yeah.
that, huh?
I don't know. We don't know.
No,
Well-
that is historically how he died.
I
Yeah.
thought he had syphilis for a while. That's why.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
that's what my mom thought
I thought he
too.
had syphilis.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
would
just
suck.
crazy.
No.
So he really
everybody
does
would
just
have
have a headache
syphilis.
sometimes.
Because
The whole
he slept around a bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
The whole castle.
I'm so sorry. Like that's
No, that's totally fine because if he did have syphilis, that would suck for Kenna, and then that would suck
would be
for
bad.
Bash and just everyone.
It's just everybody would
But
get syphilis.
I was convinced too that he did have that, and that's why his bedpan was black. It was.
It was.
Yeah.
So let's talk about predictions.
yeah,
predictions.
I thought she was. Weren't you?
I was talking about No, okay, so I think, you're going back to the castle.
Okay.
And now Francis is going to give you what you need. He's going to give you some land and he's going to give you some title. And I'm not going to lie, you've been a lucky son of a bee coming from the kitchen and we got Sergeant Pepper handing you some stuff and then
I mean, it saved his life, whatever.
yeah, I mean, you saved his life and then
Risking
he's
my
like,
life at war. Who
Yeah, but then
cares?
he's like, all right, well, I'm going to get you out of the kitchen and you're going to come work for me and get a lot of money, etc. And then you had to go to war. But now you're coming back. And Francis is going to hold true to his word because you guys have bonded now in the snow.
Bromance.
And now we're going to have a
Bloody
really,
snow.
really, really big conflict from Greer.
Yeah.
Because she has to choose now because she's in a position where she is holding the cards for all the ladies in her family.
Yeah.
And- but what's she gonna do?
And the men, because they're relying on that money too.
Yeah, everyone in her family is all eyes on her for this marriage that she is engaged to.
And she's kind of feeling Castle Roy, Dr. Pepper, a little bit
Yeah.
now. Like he's been charming her.
He has
stands
stepped
up.
up.
He's a nice guy. I guess.
Like we even said last week, we were like, Castle Roy's looking a little cute.
Yeah,
He's,
he came in
He's
into
quite
the show.
He's a little gallant,
He came in kind of goofy and a little offbeat. We were like, nice try, sucker. Like, but now it's kind of like, whoa, nice try.
He just
we're
bossed
all in.
up, and that
did.
gave him some swag and some points. So it was
Yeah.
like, all right, well, that compensates
I'll let you
for
have
what's
Greer.
going on.
I agree.
His
See,
face.
I'm nervous for the fact that, kind of everyone right now is in their own little worlds, and when they need each other most, I feel like they're not going to be there for each other. Everyone's kind of splintering off, and as you guys mentioned, they have their own varying storylines, and, there's important things to each of them. And I feel like something's going to happen, and they're just not going to be there for each other to handle it in the best of ways.
That's so pessimistic.
Well, we were coming up on the season, but we still have the
Season
season finale to bring everything back
true.
up.
That's true.
It's
Oh,
true.
21's gonna be crazy.
Ooh, I have
I'm
two
coming back for it.
predictions. So, what was the gentleman's name that was kicked out of French court?
Duke of
Duke.
the Duke
The
of
Duke of
Guise.
Guise, yeah.
So remember now, he asked to be France's right-hand man. Now Francis is promising, somewhat it seems, this to Leith. So, I think there's going to be conflict there. I think the Duke and Leith might have it out.
Ooh, God.
That
would-
is a
That's a
conflict.
good one.
that
But
would
I
be
also-
Boom,
tricky for me.
Nostradamus.
Honestly,
right?
I
Yeah.
think that Francis is going to kill the Duke. I think that he made those. I think those were empty promises to get what he needed to get out of him. And the second he's like, "I need you to pay up," he's like, "Oh wait, I lied. I'm a king."
I don't
there's a
think
sword
he's gonna
in the
kill him
back.
too
Not that, he
soon.
has an army.
Yeah, but when it's over,
I don't know. But that was my first. My second
Okay.
prediction is that Lola is going to tell Julien who the baby daddy is.
that's gonna cause so many problems.
She's going to be like,
awkward.
because he came clean, I think she's going to come clean too.
But he cannot be trusted. I'm sorry. He did step up to the plate. He was good this episode, and he looked good. And I like him
You
kind
gotta
of now.
trust,
but
you gotta
I
fall.
Can't. I can't.
Megan, you gotta fall. You gotta trust
can't.
him.
I can't.
All
I
right?
can't.
He's
I'll
so
do it for
hot.
you for like 5 seconds. So when I leave, I'm like, that Julian's bad news.
I don't know. The breakdown seems so honest to me.
I
Like I
guy.
believe yeah.
like nice guys. Well, so I mean, he's good. He loves her. He'll
Obviously,
take care of that
no one
baby.
here is single. Let me tell you right now, he's bad news. I've seen this guy before.
He did admit he was a gold digger.
Yeah.
Well, he admitted he was a man in trouble. All right, it's
Man down on his
So
lap,
that makes it
thrown
okay.
out by his family.
and she was using him too
No.
Not for his money.
I'm sorry. She's just a
for his reputation
Yeah.
and his sperm.
Not a sperm.
But to the
Technically
illusion
sperm.
of his
Yeah.
sperm.
How did Greer's family send that guy to marry her without doing a background check?
Well, and they don't have any money. That's
He's
what
Lord Julien. I mean,
this is
it's-
what I want to know. Like, did he figure out that Greer didn't have money, and so as soon as he saw them making out, he was like, "Oh, excuse, I'm out. Like, I can marry some other
Well,
chick in this
that's
court."
exactly what happened because we all said, how can he not excuse Greer for a kiss, but he can excuse Lola for a baby?
Well,
Money.
So the thing with the kiss was that he as he said is in a very tricky place, and he can't afford to have anything that affects his reputation because of this tricky place that he's in. He can't be exposed for any drama or gossip or anything like that. It wasn't just him who walked into that room. It was him, a servant, and about 8 of his buds. So that was a group awkward moment there. And then there's me as well. Who knows what I would say in that situation, and then if all of a sudden he's killed a kitchen boy, that's a problem as well, But with Lola, the only person who knows about that situation is him, and he can sort of maybe...
So he thinks.
But, there it is again, people operating with trust.
You can't
gonna
trust
work on it.
anybody in French
I'm
court.
naive.
Truly, you can't.
Yeah.
Is there any predictions that you have?
Yeah. So I have a couple predictions.
Yes.
So what's gonna happen is that Francis he ends up finding it's this school bus, right? But this school bus that can do stuff and it can take you through scientific things, right?
Like the magic school
it can
Spoiler
similar.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Thanks, Phil.
That was a really good cartoon,
Is there
though.
going to be a Miss Frizzle?
Well, clearly
Is she
Leith undergoes some trauma and becomes the chameleon, right? The iguana.
What was the iguana's name?
Oh God, I should know this.
I hate lizards, so.
No, but it's going to kill me.
But Miss Frizzle, yeah. I mean, oh my God, Meagan follows Miss Frizzle. It's right.
They need to make a live action Magic School Bus movie.
They do.
And Meagan Follows should be cast as Miss Frizzle.
True.
Truly.
True.
Well then.
Wow.
Phil's
we went
like
all over
out.
the place, but thank you. We had such a
Oh my
good
God.
time. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Please come back
Yes.
anytime you want. We had a
Come back in
blast.
2 weeks.
Yeah, come back in 2
I
weeks.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
have a
try.
party.
I'll see if I'll be in town
If you're in town,
in
yes.
Los Angeles.
We
but,
need you.
Thank you.
Oh.
And thank you
Yeah.
for letting me share your last show.
Yeah,
with you.
We need you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need you.
She doesn't.
Oh my god. I'm
She's
still here
leaving
now.
No matter what, we gotta, let's tweet along the episode.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Social media.
Yes.
Well, where can we find you on social media?
My Twitter and Instagram handle is @Johnny Canyon. That's JONNYKANYON. If you look up Jonathan Keltz, it'll still show up. But yeah, I get a little check mark so you know it's me.
He's
And
official.
then,
He's official,
and
ladies.
then Facebook, it's Jonathan Keltz. But yeah.
Well then.
Ladies, where
Perfect.
can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram @Meagan Medick or on Twitter @TheBowWowGal. And thank you all for all the love and support you've shown. It's been such a pleasure being your host of Reign.
Aw. Well, I'm Fahnia Thomas, and you guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter @Fahnia Thomas.
And I'm Keetin Marchi, and you guys can find me on Facebook and Instagram @KeetinM33. Thank you again. It was
Thank you.
such a fun show.
Oh,
thank you
thank
all
you,
for
ladies.
watching. We love our fans out there, and keep the conversation going on YouTube, iTunes, Twitter, everything.
Anything you can get your hands on.
Email
People.
us.
Shout at people.
I did get a proposal recently. We'll talk about it next week.
Congratulations.
I didn't get
Congratulations.
any that one day.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.